marched to the Battle of New Orleans at the end of the early British wars. Young land started growing, young blood started flowing, but I ain't marching anymore. Oh, I killed my share of Injuns in 1,000 different fights. I was there at the Little Big Horn. I heard many men lying, I saw many more dying, but I ain't marching anymore. It's always the old that leads us to the wars, always the young to fall. Now look at what we've won with a saber and a gun. Tell me, is it worth it all? For I stole California from the Mexican land. I fought in the bloody Civil War. Yes, I even killed my brothers and so many others, but I ain't marching anymore. For I marched to the Battle of the German Trench in a war that was bound to end all wars. Oh, I must have killed 1,000,000 men, and now they want me back again, but I ain't marching anymore. It's always the old to lead us to the wars, always the young to fall. Now look at what we've won with a saber and a gun. Tell me, is it worth it all? For I flew the final mission in the Japanese sky, set off the mighty Mushroom War. But I saw the cities burning, I knew that I was learning that I ain't marching anymore. Now the labor leaders screaming when they close the missile plant. United Fruit screams at the Cuban shore. Call it peace or call it treason, love it, call it reason, but I ain't marching anymore. No, I ain't marching anymore. Thanks so much. Towers and streets, they never spare a passing glance at a cold, mangled body in threadbare rags. Calloused hands, hefty bags under bloodshot eyes. Concrete arrest, the sidewalk's my bed tonight, so be polite. I am an uptown shell, no place to rest my head upon. I am an uptown shell, everything I had is gone, 'cause even the foxes have their dens, and the birds of the air have nests, but there is no place to rest for an uptown shell. Day after day, held by the poison in my hand, stumbling through, hold down a job as long as I can. The choices I made leave me searching for reason and rhyme. Where it went wrong, I wonder as I bide my time. It's all that's mine. I am an uptown shell, no place to rest my head upon. I am an uptown shell, everything I had is gone, 'cause even the foxes have their dens, and the birds is no place to rest for an uptown shell. Though I'm drunk and I can't pay, I still have hope it can get better someday. Buildings shine in the heat of the sun. If you survive the day, you have won. I have an uptown shell, no place to rest my head upon. I have an uptown shell, everything I had is gone. 'Cause even the foxes have their dens, and the birds of the air have nests. But there is no place to rest for an uptown shell. No place for an uptown shell. Thank you very much, and good evening. Thanks so much for being here, and welcome to tonight's show, which is called On the Bright Side. Tonight we're singing about the silver linings that can be found in our current political turmoil here in the United States. On last week's live stream, we sang about how good it was to step away from the news and current events once in a while and distract ourselves on occasion. But tonight we're diving deep into the current and seeing if we can find something to be happy or hopeful about. This is Baltimore. The TV shows you an illusion. There's a darker side of town. I tremble at the thought of being next in line as the higher powers pound. The lucky ones sweat out the city jail. The others blaze a rosewood, brown and blood red trail through Baltimore. Can you hear your children crying? Baltimore. Can you hear the people singing? Let the revolution pass through Baltimore. Jail van skids through these poor man's streets. We just let them have their fun. His hands are tied, his body's loose against this floor and walls. That'll teach him not to run. Head to Great Bar and he's gone. Skies turn to gray as his soul passes on from Baltimore. Can you hear the children crying? Baltimore. Can you hear the people singing? Let the revolution pass through Baltimore. These martyrs leave their sidewalks wounded and stained. It's up to us to summon down the cleansing rain. The names are stapled to our chests. We won't stop till they can rest. Baltimore, can you hear children crying? Baltimore, singing. Baltimore, passed through Baltimore. Revolution passed through Baltimore. Thanks again. So, taking on a massive political machine that takes power and resources from poor and ordinary people in favor of the rich is a daunting task. But a growing number of Americans have shown that they're up for it. I've seen more people speaking up, hitting the streets, taking part in economic boycotts than I've ever seen before. They seem to be working under a very basic political ideology, this crazy, radical idea. Maybe the government is supposed to take care of its poor, marginalized, and ordinary people, not take resources away from them. Here's a Bruce Springsteen song that states this idea as simply and as effectively as any I've seen. I've been knocking on the door that holds the throne. I've been looking for the map that leads me home. I've been stumbling on good hearts turned to stone. A road of good intentions gone dry as a bone. We take care of our own. We take care of our own. Wherever this flag's flown, we take care of our own. From Chicago to New Orleans, from the muscle to the bone. From the shotgun shack to the Superdome. There ain't no help but cavalry stayed home. There ain't no one here in the bugle blow. We take care of our own. We take care of our own. Wherever this flag's flown, we take care of our own. Where's the eyes with the will to see? Where's the hearts that run over with mercy? Where's the love that has not forsaken me? Where's the work that set my hands, my soul free? Where's the spirit that'll reign over me? Where's the promise from sea to shining sea? Where's the promise from sea to shining sea? Wherever this flag is flown, wherever this flag is flown, wherever this flag is flown, we take care of our own. We take care of our own. Wherever this flag's flown, we take care of our own. Thanks again. That was We Take Care of Our Own by Bruce Springsteen. I'm going to roll right into this next one here. I got laid off, it's Monday, and I'm calling to tell you it don't sit with me well. I feel like I failed you. You say we got each other, that's plenty enough, and I know it's true. We've got one kid coming and one still in diapers. It's a rainy drive home with one good wiper. Leave the porch light on. I need a beacon just to pull me to you. If I haven't lost you, ever been lost too, just drifting in a sea of blue. You're in my skin like a rose tattoo, like a rose tattoo, like a rose tattoo. The economy's crashing and this poor boy's laughing 'cause there's nothing to lose. We don't live in no mansion, there's no bling to put on, only Walmart fashion will do. Inside the house the baby's screaming and the pasta is steaming, and I look through the windows, feels like I'm dreaming. You pull the door open, say, Daddy, when you're coming home. If I haven't lost you, I would be lost too, just drifting in a sea of blue. You're in my skin like a rose tattoo, like a rose tattoo, like a rose tattoo. You say we'll fight for the best case scenario, and then you put Van Morrison on the stereo. Sure, there's trouble in the boardrooms, trouble in the factories, trouble in the alley out back. We've got love in these patterns, love is what matters, and baby, I got your back. I've got your back. I've got your back. Hey, I've got your back. If I haven't lost you, I would be lost too, just drifting in a sea of blue. You're in my skin like a rose tattoo, like a rose tattoo, like a rose tattoo, like a rose tattoo, like a rose tattoo. Thanks again. Once again, that was Rose Tattoo by Ellis Paul. So, Elon Musk is not the only person in history to suggest that empathy is a negative character trait rather than a positive. Many people, more psychopathic than Musk, have said it before. Not having empathy is a clear sign that something is wrong with you neurologically. It has been used to justify some of the greatest horrors in human history: war, Holocaust, genocide, eugenics, racism, economic and social oppression, and so much more. The truth is, empathy is an essential element to survival, not just in humans, but everywhere in the animal kingdom. Any group that roams in packs, any animal low on the food chain, every child in every species on this planet depends on the help of others to survive. And anyone who tells you otherwise should not be trusted. This is Love Shine Through. You used to stand so tall and young and free. Now you're merely a drunken shell of what you used to be. You lay waste to another man, scream the gun was in God's hands, and you don't see the light in every soul you see. Never was this way before. We always taught you to let love shine through. Pray for me, I'll pray for you. A spark of light is all you needed to let love shine through. Your hatred sends a dagger through their skin. Indifference spills blood from this wound they're in. So give love to all you see, even your enemies, and take a moment to see their eyes shine with their grin. It's a light you can't ignore. All you can do now is let love shine through. Pray for me, I'll pray for you. A spark of light is all you makes a life-scorned soul. It doesn't matter who they are or what they've done to fall this far. And let love shine through. Pray for me, I'll pray for you. Spark of light is all you needed to let love shine through. Love shine through. Pray for me, I'll pray for you. A spark of light is all you needed to let love shine through. Let love shine through. All right, thanks again. So the economic impacts of the current administration are already being felt across the country. The skyrocketing price of certain groceries has been covered extensively by the news in recent months, but not being covered nearly as much as the consequences of the administration taking a chainsaw to programs like Medicaid, food stamps, and other programs that poor people depend on to survive have already begun to take shape. And considering the attempts to gaslight us on Social Security, by far the most successful and efficient government program in the nation's history, these cuts and their ripple effects are just beginning. All for the sake of paying for massive tax cuts on the richest people in the world, we're being left scrapping up the crumbs they drop on the floor. Fortunately, people are waking up to this, recognizing it for the scam it is, and are fighting back. Patterson on the bread box line. He lost his home on his own dime. She rules the bright light serenade with a child at her promenade. A thinning man in the tightest jeans, a husband sick in bed asleep. From the ashes of pain and pity, come together, let's build this city. Innocence with charcoal skin, his brother shot by a blue man's tin. A mother trapped in a textile mill risks her hand for her mouths to fill. Concrete towers proud and tall, how many iron workers fall? From the ashes of pain and pity, come together, let's build this city. To be a silent land, planted firmly in the sand. Then shops were called our conscience hid. Wake up to see just what they did. They ripped apart the prophet's tongue, and the murderer is free to run. The gambler, it's the sloping stride, climbing up to the money's high. The working man is a beggar's kiss. God knows we are better than this. So from the ashes of pain and pity, come together, let's build this city. Together, let's build this city. Come together, let's build this city. Come together, let's build this city. All right, thanks again. That was Build This City. So, the people protesting this administration's actions are showing a sense of fearlessness that is rarely seen anymore. When Trump stated that he was going to crack down on pro-Palestinian protesters on college campuses, the students came out in droves to defy him, risking their freedoms clearly threatened to speak up and be true to themselves. And not just themselves, showing an exceptional camaraderie towards each other in expressing their anger, their hope, and demand for human rights, once again proving how wrong Musk is about empathy. This is a song by the Night Watchman. This is called Saint Isabel. Innocence and suffering, loneliness and grace, pain and love and beauty, laughter, death and faith. Where the rising fortune meets the setting sun, I'm afraid, my friend, with what is left, it's just the same as none. I will always stand beside you, defend you and mend you and sanctify you, hold you and keep you and fight beside you. Follow you down, love, I'm right behind you. God make a road straight, God make a road true. Saint Isabel is coming through. God make a road straight, God make a road true. Saint Isabel is coming through. Textbooks on the table, radios on the shelf. Thank you for the offer, but I'll sing this one myself. In reverential silence, crowds sang in the pews. I climbed and climbed for hours, but oh my, what a view. I will always stand beside you, defend you and mend you and sanctify you, hold you and keep you and fight beside you. Follow you down, love, I'm right behind you. Gotta make a road straight, gotta make a road true. Saint Isabel is coming through. Gotta make a road straight, gotta make a road true. Saint Isabel is coming through. Surprised you didn't come forward when the droughts dragged me away. There's a museum in the Netherlands, hope to see again someday. There's a painting of a woman gathering wood, it's almost dark. In a world bereft of meaning, there's a flicker in the hearth. I will always stand beside you, defend you and mend you and sanctify you, hold you and keep you and fight beside you. Follow you down, love, I'm right behind you. I'll follow you down, love, I'm right behind you. And follow you down, love, I'm right behind you. God make a road straight, God make a road true. Saint Isabel is coming through. God make a road straight, God make a road true. Saint Isabel is marching through. Thanks again. That was Saint Isabel by the Night Watchman. In the 1980s, during the height of the Cold War, there was hope that a successful reduction of manufactured weapons would be the beginning of the end of endless war. But now weapons manufacturing and war hawkish talk is higher than it's ever been. And unlike in the days of Vietnam, the resistance of today is hardly being talked about at all. As people in power continue to give weapons to our supposed allies, villainize our supposed adversaries, and place innocent people in the crosshairs, the anti-war movement is still present and in strong numbers. They know that war does not bring peace, and they bring hope for a truly peaceful future. I am the son of a grassland farmer, Western Oklahoma, 1943. I'm grateful to live in the land of the free. I gave up my father to South Korea, the mind of my brother to Vietnam. Now there is a banker who says I must give up my land. There are 4 generations of blood in this topsoil, 4 generations of love on this farm. Before I give up, I would gladly give up my right arm. What are we making weapons for? Why keep on building the war machine? We take it right out of the mouths of our babies, take it away from the hands of the poor. Tell me, what are we making weapons for? I had a son, and my son was a soldier. So like my father, he was so much like me. To be a good comrade was the best that he dreamed he could be. He gave up his future to revolution, his life to a battle that just can't be won. For this is not living, to live at the point of a gun. I remember the 900 days of Leningrad, the sound of the dying, the cut of the coal. I remember the moments I prayed I would never grow old. What are we making weapons for? Why keep on feeding the war machine? We take it right out of the mouths of our babies, take it away from the hands of the poor. Tell me, what are we making weapons for? For the first time in my life, I feel like a prisoner, a slave to the ways of the powers that be. I fear for my children as I fear for the future I see. Tell me, how can it be we're still fighting each other? What does it take for a people to learn? This is our song as a chorus, we surely will burn. What are we making weapons for? Why keep on feeding the war machine? We'll take it right out of the mouths of our babies, take it away from the hands of the poor. Tell me, what first time. This could be the last time. If peace is our vision, let us begin. Have we forgotten all the lives that we're given, all the vows that we're taken, saying never again, never again. Now for the first time, this could be the last time. If peace is our vision, let us begin, let us begin. Thank you so much. That was Let Us Begin, What Are We Making Weapons For by John Denver. A few days ago, the president announced the arrest of a 30-year-old Columbia University graduate named Mahmoud Khalil, who helped organize protests in favor of Palestinian rights. He was painted as a pro-Hamas terrorist without ever stating any evidence to back it up, and stated that he will be deported despite being a legal permanent U.S. resident. His crime? Exercising his First Amendment right to peacefully protest against a genocidal regime allied with the United States. Khalil is a married man. His wife is an American citizen, and she is 8 months pregnant with his child. She has not had access to his whereabouts since his detainment, with one source saying he is housed in a detention center 1,500 miles away in Louisiana. The White House has publicly mocked Khalil since his arrest and announced the intention of arresting, detaining, and deporting many more pro-Palestinian voices throughout the country. On the TV behind me is footage from a protest that occurred earlier today at Washington Square Park in New York City, demanding Khalil's release. Despite the efforts of the White House to scare away dissenting voices, they are still coming out in record numbers to protest the president's actions towards Israel and those who speak out against it. They risk their livelihoods to exercise the rights granted to them by the U.S. Constitution. There is no record I could find of Mahmoud Khalil being violent or supporting terrorism or terrorist groups. There is no doubt in my mind this is merely an attempt to scare anti-genocide activists into silence and eradicate any high-profile opposition to the established wartime agenda. But it had backfired. The move has reignited the pro-Palestinian movement on college campuses once again, as you can see behind me, with high numbers turning out just in time for the weather to get warm again. Now, with the added risk of having your residency in America stripped away, these people are still not afraid to speak up for what they believe is right. Once again, the children are leading the way. On the banks of the Jordan, where Jesus once stood, the streets filled with rubble were once neighborhoods. The women and children, their bodies lay bare, destroyed by the bombs we dropped from thin air. suits at their desks in New York and DC. They're telling us not to believe what we see. The good and the evil, it's firm on its side. We're not gonna buy it, the numbers don't lie. There's death in the darkness, life in the light, seen in their faces, steadfast and bright. There's hope for the future as long as they stay. So let the children lead the way. So they walked out of class, they set up their tents, and to their descendants they paid off their debts. Take over the halls and stating their case. They stand by their words, do whatever it takes. There's an army against them with weapons and words, tear gas and fists, gaslights and slurs. They send in the guards, our bodies they throw. The bullets they carry were shot long ago. There's death in the darkness, life in the light, seen in their faces, steadfast and bright. There's hope for the future as long as they stay. So let the children lead the way. Across the courtyard and into the streets, the message is spoken of peace and relief. Their voices are mighty and ring like a bell, where justice is heaven and order is hell. So let's not forget where we once were young. They stood against Vietnam, Iraq, and the gun. Now this generation is ready to fight. Show that we're with them, stand up for what's right. There's death in the darkness, life in the light, seen in their faces, steadfast and bright. There's hope for the future as long as they stay. So let the children lead the way. There's hope for the future as long as they stay. So let the children lead the way. Thanks again. this morning. None of the news was good. Death machines were rumbling across the ground where Jesus stood. And the man on my TV told me that it had always been that way. And there was nothing anyone could do or say. And I almost listened to him. Yeah, I almost lost my mind, but I regained my senses again. Looked into my heart to find that I believe that one fine day all the children of Abraham will lay down their swords forever in Jerusalem. Well, maybe I'm only dreaming. Maybe I'm just a fool, but I don't remember learning how to hate in Sunday school. But somewhere along the way I strayed, and I never looked back again. But I still find some comfort now and then. Then the storm comes rumbling in, and I can't lay me down, and the drums are drumming again. And I can't stand the sound, but I believe there will come a day when the lion and the lamb will lie down in peace together in Jerusalem. There will be no barricades then. There will be no wire or walls, and we can wash all this blood from our hands, all this hatred from our souls. And I believe that on that day, all the children of Abraham will lie down their swords forever in Jerusalem. So, what is the bright side? In the midst of all this political turmoil in the U.S., where is the silver lining? In summary, it is in the recognition of the American people simply that this is wrong. It is in the increasing number of people who are standing up and making their voices heard in the name of justice, peace, and the well-being of all people. Even people who voted for Donald Trump all 3 times are now recognizing the harm he and his administration are now causing. There's nothing wrong with being late to the party. A month ago, I stood up here and demanded that we all fight against what is now perceived as an attempt at a fascist, authoritarian takeover of the U.S. And the events of these past months in the wake of this presidency, it is clear that the American people are doing exactly that. Taking the form of protests, organizing economic blackouts and boycotts, we are now doing whatever we can to defeat this regime, retain our freedoms, and hopefully create a better place to live for all Americans, no matter what you believe in, how much money you have, what the color of your skin is, or how you identify yourself. All peoples throughout this country deserve the right to a fair shot at a prosperous life. And we cannot let the powers that be take that away. Our supposed allies in Congress are divided on what to do, or whether to do anything at all. So it's up to us. Here's hoping we succeed further into the future. Come on and take a walk with me through this green and growing land. Walk through the meadows and the mountains and the sand. Walk through the valleys and the rivers and the plains. Walk through the sun and walk through the rain. Here is a land full of power and glory, beauty that words cannot recall. Oh, her power shall rest on the strength of her freedom, and her glory shall rest on us all. From Colorado, Kansas, and the Carolinas to Virginia and Alaska, from the old into the new, Texas and Ohio and the California shore. Tell me, who could ask for more? Here's a land full of power and glory, beauty that words cannot recall. Oh, her power shall rest on the strength of her freedom, and her glory shall rest on us all. Yet she's only as rich as the poorest of the poor, only as free as the padlocked prison doors, only as strong as our love for this land, only as tall as we stand. Here is a land full of power and glory, beauty that words cannot recall. Oh, her power shall rest on the strength of her freedom, and her glory shall rest on us all, on us all. All right, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. That's our show. Thank you so much for joining me for On the Bright Side. Great pleasure to have you here with us. And I hope you were able to receive the positivity that I tried to convey tonight through the chaos that we see every day on the news, and that we can continue to spread it throughout our daily lives and speak up and make this country better. I will be back live streaming next week. It will be all request night, so if you want to hear a song, please feel free to let me know, and I'll be ready with your song requests, so I'll be playing them for you. I do have... let me think. It's not this week. It's the following week. I'm going to be back at Torn Valley Vineyards in Hillburn, New York, from 1 to 5 on Saturday, March 22nd. And then the following week, Friday the 28th, I'm going to be playing in Hillsborough, New Jersey at Flounder Brewing Company. That'll be from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock, so I hope you can join me for that as well. Thank you all so much for being here. I'll see you again next week. So take care, everybody. Peace and love.